Welcome to the Hornets Hivecast, presented by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, the official eye, ear, nose, and throat care provider of the Charlotte Hornets. Here's your host, Sam Farber.
Rick Schnall, Gabe Plotkin, welcome back to the Hornets Hivecast.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Good to be here.
Thrilled to have you both. Been a little over a year since you took over as co-chairman of Hornets Sports and Entertainment, and you set out with the goal of becoming the premier franchise in the NBA. It's been about a year now. Where are you on that journey? Rick, let's start with you.
I'd say we are well on our way. Maybe we're in the second inning. We have a 9-inning game, so it's a long way. Trying to be great takes time, and expecting to be great overnight would be a mistake, but we have made an enormous amount of progress. Obviously, we have a brand new basketball staff, both operations, coaching staff. We have a new business president. We've invested heavily in our facilities, in our arena. We're hopefully we'll be underway in the first quarter with our state-of-the-art practice facility. So, and we've set our vision, as you said, our mission to be the premier franchise in the NBA, and we've gone about hiring people who believe in that vision, who reflect the values that we believe in as an organization, and so we are on our way to creating something great here. But it is going to take us some more time.
Well, you hit all my questions on the first answer, so we're done. No, to drill down a little bit more, Phase 1 of the reimagining of Spectrum Center is nearing completion. You'll unveil the building for the home opener on October 26th. Gabe, what are you most excited about unveiling here as Phase 1 wraps up?
Yeah, I think it's just a fan experience. I think you're going to see a great fan experience kind of throughout the different levels, whether it's the clubs, which are much larger, much nicer, better food opportunities there or choices, up to the upper concourse in terms of easier traffic ways, better food, better ease of getting into the building. I mean, it's a lot of everything, to be honest. I mean, even for our players, we've improved the locker rooms and the shower rooms and the way up to the practice facility and the signage. And so I think there's many details that go into this, but across the board, it's going to be a better arena.
As you touched on, there has been a reimagining of the leadership of the organization, a new generation of talent taking over. Shelley Kayette-Weston, the new president of business operations, Charles Lee, the head coach, and Jeff Peterson, president of basketball operations, all have been in recent years on a 40 under 40 list of some kind from some significant publication. So truly a new generation of leadership. What do they bring individually and collectively that gave you the confidence that these are the right people to lead this organization forward? Rick, we'll start with you.
They're all incredibly high character and incredibly talented people. And so when we started our search, obviously we did searches for Jeff's job. We did a search for Shelley's job. We hadn't even started a search when we met with Shelley and decided she was the right person. And we set out to look for great talent. Didn't matter where it existed, where they worked, how old they were. We wanted great talent, and we wanted people that were of great character. I have the benefit of having known both Jeff and Charles for over, I guess, almost 10 years now, and we think we found people that can be with our organization for a very, very long time. They're super talented. They believe in the vision of what we're trying to create. They believe in the culture, and we believe that great cultures start with vision and then get to people. And if you hire great people like Jeff, and he then goes and hires A players underneath him, you'll have an organization that can achieve great things. And obviously Shelley gives us an enormous amount of energy in what we're doing on the business side. And we have when we bought the business, we obviously had a long way to go to build a winning basketball team, and we're in the process of doing that. We also had a long way to go in building a great business, and we're in the process of doing that as well.
Gabe, you've had a few weeks, in some cases months in others, to see this group come together. What has impressed you the most, seeing them get into action here in preparation for their first season together?
Yeah, I think it's the sense of purpose. And you saw that immediately. Jeff came in. He brought a staff with him. I mean, the amount of people that called wanting to work with Jeff, I think, speaks very highly to what Jeff's brought to the table in his past. But upon bringing in Charles, and you could sense it through summer league. It was like from that first practice, it was like, this is not the same Hornets. I mean, there's an expectation around how we're going to compete, how we're going to defend, how we're going to be prepared, and just the communication touch points and the way these guys work together. I think it's very unique, and I think it's different. And that energy that they've brought to the table and that preparedness, I think the players understand that and they see that. We saw that at training camp. I mean, it was watching these guys move in and out of drills and the coaches preparing beforehand and the film sessions. I mean, these guys are ready to go. They had thought through everything. I mean, they're weeks, months in advance in terms of where their preparation's going. The player development packets that we went through and what our expectations are for our individual players and how we want them to get better, what we expect them to do. And even with the sports and performance group as a part of this, everyone kind of working together. So it's been unbelievable to see. I mean, it's obviously very early in terms of we haven't even started the season. But in terms of the approach, the process, what the energy that these guys are bringing, it's been awesome.
One thing all three of them have said along the way is that we're not going to skip steps to get to that end goal where we want to be. That said, you two are competitors. You're very competitive in everything you do. What are your expectations for the level of competition we'll see on the floor here for this upcoming season?
We're going to compete every night. How many games we win, I think it's hard to tell. We're young. We have a lot of really, really talented players. We brought in, obviously, a couple of vets to support those players with Taj Gibson and Seth Curry, and you can even call Grant, even though I think he's 26, a vet.
Modern NBA, that's a vet.
Yeah, modern NBA is a vet. We should be competitive. I mean, I think we're going to have a really fun team to watch. I think we'll score a lot of points. I think if you watched us in the preseason, our top 10 guys who played not as many minutes as you will in the regular season played well, and we competed in every game we played. We played hard defensively, and we should be a team that gets out there and competes, and we should be far more competitive than we were last year.
Yeah, I think any night, any team we're playing, we're going to be in that game and we have a real shot to win the game. I think that's really important, and that was not the case last year. And I think you're going to have a lot of great moments here at Spectrum Center this year. Where it ultimately leads us, we'll see. I think our focus this year is building culture, developing the right habits, player development, and really giving our young guys a chance to grow and see where they can kind of take us. And we don't know right now, entirely where that's going to be. But I do think when you start with the backcourt with LaMelo and Brandon and these guys, I think Brandon took 43 threes I was looking at in the preseason in 5 games. But you're run rating 12 threes a game. That's your 6'8" shooting guard. And then you get your 6'8" point guard who, the one thing about LaMelo, he's a great passer. He's got great vision. He's a great creator, but I think he's an underrated shooter. I mean, he is a great shooter. And so to have a backcourt like that has great range, that shoots the ball, I mean, you're just going to see a lot of really fun, exciting evenings here. And I think we're going to score points, and we're going to play defense and compete, and it's going to be the next step forward for our team.
Not to fast forward through the season, but you guys have already put in place plans for the future of Uptown Charlotte and this organization. The Performance Center that you mentioned is scheduled to break ground here upcoming in 2025, and then phase 2 of the renovations here for Spectrum Center. What do you see the impact being here, not just for the organization, but the community with these major investments you're making into the organization? Gabe, we'll start with you this time.
Yeah, I think, for the arena itself, there's a commitment that they'll see and just an enjoyment and pride in our team. I mean, one of the things next summer that's going to be great is we're adding 2,500 lower bowl seats. And so I think the environment in the arena is going to sound different. It's going to be loud. I think you're going to have home court advantage, and I think it's going to really benefit our team. I think, broadly with the practice facility, we had an initial investment from the city, which we're grateful for. Obviously, a project of this size is going to require a substantial investment from the ownership group as well. And to have everyone under one roof, I think, is really important, both the business side and the basketball side. And we're one of only a couple teams that the practice facility is still in the arena. And to have world-class practice facility and to have everyone together in the same building shows a commitment to our players that I think is really important. There's an expectation that they have being around the league, and so our ability to retain players, attract free agents, to know that we're really in this to compete, changes that game. And so I think for the community as a whole, the Hornets are important. People love sports here, and to know that we are a world-class organization, everyone can take pride in that and feel good about it.
It's not the only place you guys have made a major investment. You have, in the process of reimagining this building, you're reimagining 9 other local high school, middle school, elementary school basketball arenas, and then also when the tragedy that was Hurricane Helene hit the Carolinas, you were quick to lead the way, making a major investment in our greater Carolina community of $1 million towards relief efforts. What does it mean to you to be in a position to give back, and why were those 2 projects, one a reactionary one that needed to be done right away, and another that you have a choice where you put your investment into the community? Why were those the important ones for you?
Well, I think, first off, in many respects, this is a community asset. I think we talked about that last year. And so, we're in partnership with the community here, and the relationship we have with the community and our support of the community as an organization is a big deal. And it's a big deal to us personally. And so we obviously significantly enhanced the commitment to the Hornets Foundation when we came in. We have a big event tonight, which is our annual gala, where we'll celebrate that. As part of our increased commitment, ownership's increased commitment to the foundation, we thought about last year, what impact could we have immediately with this new capital that we have as a foundation, and we elected to support local schools because we thought building gymnasiums, fixing gymnasiums, helping kids get the joy and privilege of being in a special gym would be a great way to start the foundation. And then, of course, with the hurricane, we immediately turned our attention to that, made a significant additional contribution and commitment to that. It's important that we are part of that healing effort for Western North Carolina. But you'll continue to see initiatives coming out of our foundation, which will continue to work with the community on an annual basis, and of course be prepared to respond to situations where we can be helpful.
We know how much it's appreciated, so thank both of you for making those investments and being so forward and giving back to this community. Last one for both of you. Outside of playing in an NBA game, I'd say most basketball fans, if they had a dream of how they'd be involved, it'd be to sit in the chairs that you guys are in. Not here on the Hivecast, but to run.
Well, definitely not on the Hive.
Maybe not, but to run an organization. You guys have been able to live that dream now for a little over a year. How does the reality met your expectations even of what it would be like to be co-chairman for an NBA franchise? Rick, you tip us off.
I mean, it is a dream come true in many respects, and we're having the time of our lives doing it. We're very like-minded in the vision that we have and the values that we have as individuals, and we've tried to bring it collectively to the organization. We have great people. It is so much fun to be here every day, and we're super competitive, and we love basketball. So the opportunity to be around basketball to try to build a great organization. We have this goal. We're going to build a premier. It's a great goal to have, and we're in it together in trying to build it. And we're just having an enormous amount of fun trying to get it right, trying to do it with the community, and trying to represent all of North Carolina and creating something great. But to answer your question, has it been fun? Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Gabe, you get the last word?
Yeah, I would say it's easily far exceeded my expectations. I think when you love the game of basketball, just being around it and all its components is, whether you're watching practice, whether you're talking to fans, whether it's a strategic conversation about free agency or the draft or whatever it may be, you kind of pinch yourself because these are the conversations that you've always sort of dreamed about, and just being around the game is really exciting, and I think it's the best game in the world, and so I love that. And I think as both with Rick and I, the ownership group, the front office, the coaching staff, it's just a great group of people. I think we set out from a cultural perspective to bring in people that are really aligned, that would be collaborative, and they're just in any job there's good and bad in terms of how each day goes, and if you have some interaction that you didn't love. But I'd say, with what's happened here, that just hasn't happened. I think everyone's really been moving in the same direction with the same focus of, making this team great. And so it's been awesome.
Thank you both for all your hard work and effort here getting to this moment, the precipice of a new season. Best of luck with the campaign and with all the work ahead that you've got scheduled. And thanks for sitting down with us here on the Hornets Hivecast.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
That does it for this edition of the Hornets Hivecast. Remember, the HHC is available daily wherever you get your podcasts all throughout the NBA season, with game previews every game day, reviews every day after, and in-depth interviews everywhere in between. I'm Sam Farber. It's been a pleasure and a privilege having you along, and we'll talk to you next time right here on the Hornets Hivecast.
Thank you for listening to the Hornets Hivecast, brought to you by Senta, the official eye, ear, nose, and throat care provider of the Charlotte Hornets. For more coverage, visit Hornets.com.